Hold Your Breath is a supernatural horror movie directed by Jared Cohn, primarily set in a remote area near a forested lake. It blends elements of supernatural terror, slasher tropes, and survival thriller, with a central theme of survival and the supernatural forces that haunt the characters. The movie follows a group of friends who embark on a trip to a secluded cabin in the woods. However, things take a terrifying turn when they encounter a spirit, leading them into a fight for survival as they uncover the dark secrets of the lake and the curse surrounding it. Alyssa, played by Sarah Lazaro. She is the main protagonist, a strong-willed and resourceful character. Her role is central to the narrative, and she strives to protect her friends while trying to understand the forces that are haunting them. Danny, played by Jeff Denton. Alyssa's boyfriend, who, along with the other friends, is caught up in the events surrounding the eerie happenings. Chris, played by William McNamara, a friend of the group who plays an important role in trying to figure out what is going on. He eventually becomes more involved in the supernatural elements of the story. Rachel, played by Nicole Zylstra, a member of the group who is part of the growing sense of fear and tension as they start encountering strange occurrences. The Spirit Curse. A key entity in the film, the spirit is tied to the lake and is responsible for the terror that the group faces. The movie opens with a sense of adventure and friendship as a group of young adults set out for a weekend retreat in the wilderness, far from civilization. The setting is idyllic, with picturesque lakes and forest, a typical backdrop for a horror story, where the isolation adds to the tension. As the group begins to explore the surrounding area, they learn that the lake is not as innocent as it seems. The curse of the lake has haunted the area for years. It is hinted early on that something sinister is connected to the waters, but the full extent of the supernatural terror is not revealed until later. The group is soon confronted by strange occurrences, flickering lights, eerie noises, and a growing sense that they are being watched or pursued by something unseen. They come across a disturbing story involving an ancient curse, which ties the restless spirit to the lake. It is suggested that the spirit, which once lived near the water, is unable to find peace and now preys on those who venture into the area. As the night progresses, the supernatural force becomes more aggressive, and the friends are targeted one by one. The entity can manifest in various ways, including causing hallucinations and playing with the group's minds. They are forced to confront the terrifying possibility that there is no way out. Once the spirit has marked its victims, they are trapped in a cycle of death and terror. The group soon learns that to survive, they must hold their breath. The curse seems to be tied to the breath and how the spirit feeds on the energy or life force of those it encounters. This unique supernatural law is central to the plot. By holding their breath, they can evade detection for a while, but the fear and psychological strain of trying to do so becomes a test of their willpower. As the friends begin to get picked off by the spirit, the film shifts into a survival mode. The remaining survivors must use their wits and the limited resources at their disposal to try and fight back. Tension mounts as the group turns on each other, struggling to maintain hope and control as the supernatural threat grows stronger. The idea of holding one's breath becomes more than just a survival tactic. It represents the character's inner resolve and ability to resist the terror that is closing in on them. The cabin becomes a metaphor for their increasing entrapment. At first, it is a refuge, but it soon becomes clear that no matter how far they run or how well they try to conceal themselves, they cannot escape the curse or the spirit that haunts the area. They are caught in a loop of fear and fight for survival, with no clear way to stop the curse. Isolation and fear. The wilderness setting plays a huge role in creating a sense of isolation and vulnerability. The group's struggle is not just against the spirit, but also against their own fears and the creeping doubt that maybe they will never escape. The supernatural and the unknown. The movie explores themes of the supernatural, how people's curiosity and actions can awaken dark forces that have been dormant for years. It asks the question of how much we truly understand about the world around us, and whether we can control what we don't understand. Survival. At its core, the movie is about survival, both physical and mental. The group must navigate the terror of the spirit and their own internal breakdowns. The horror comes not just from external forces, but from how the characters react to and cope with the terror they face. Breath as life. The idea of holding one's breath is central to the movie. It represents life and the fight to preserve it. As the characters are forced to suppress their natural instinct to breathe in order to survive, it becomes a metaphor for the lengths to which they are willing to go to hold on to life. The climax of the film is intense and action-packed. The group discovers that they must confront the spirit at the heart of the lake in order to break the curse. However, the encounter does not go as planned, and they are forced to rely on their remaining strength and intelligence to try and destroy the spirit once and for all. The resolution is bittersweet. While not everyone makes it out alive, the remaining characters manage to break the curse, but it is unclear if the lake is truly rid of the entity, or if it will continue to claim new victims in the future. The final moments leave the audience with a lingering sense of unease, hinting that the horror might not be over. Hold Your Breath is a horror movie that uses tension, isolation, and supernatural elements to create a chilling experience. The concept of holding one's breath adds a unique twist to the typical slasher survival format, offering both a physical and psychological challenge for the characters. While not groundbreaking in terms of horror tropes, it provides an engaging, suspenseful, and entertaining ride for fans of supernatural and slasher films. The mix of psychological horror, survival elements, and eerie folklore creates a tense atmosphere that keeps the audience on edge throughout the film.